Hello, I'm Anna Delman, and welcome back for another visit to talk about a strategy for change for the future. I have one word for my personal encouragement today, and that is to avoid people, places, and things. When you are trying to change or put your life on a new direction, sadly, you will need to avoid people, places, and things. If your family or your friends aren't going to be supportive and encouraging of you, you will have to take a step back from them until you are strengthened enough to be able to respond to them in a positive and gracious way. Places, do you go shopping without a shopping list and without cash, and you have that credit card and you can just go and then spend as much as you want and you put it on your credit card or overspend on your debit card? What are those places to you? Going to a bar, you know you're going to drink too much. Going to a friend's home where they are sure fun friends to be around, but they are going to feed you with things. Feed, not necessarily food. Conversation, other people who you are who you not necessarily should be around because they're not encouraging to you. You need to change that and stay away until again you are strengthened enough to do that. Or things, for me, candy bars, buying cookies. If I buy a sleeve of cookies, a sleeve of Oreos, that's my lunch or my dinner, and so I choose not to buy it unless it's for a specific purpose where I can put it into a cake for a special occasion, and then once the cake is shared, I encourage people to take leftovers with them, or I give cake away because I can't have it around. It's not good for me. We have to come up with replacement strategies, whether that be in our thought processes, how we're going to respond to people who are trying. We need to come up with that. We need to develop those responses, think them through. What are the solutions that we can give in a moment, yet not fully commit ourselves to in conversation? Very important. If you're not sure and you need to grow discernment and you need to grow in wisdom, read books. Find a book on the topic you're trying to address. Watch some positive movies. There are a lot of positive movies out there that can feed you on a better moral way of life. And podcasts. Goodness, there are so many good podcasts out there on life and overcoming. Find them. YouTube has wonderful channels that you can listen to on so many topics. Type into the search bar something in the area you're struggling with and see what comes up in the positive, and acquaint yourself with all of that. Another thing, gentle, uplifting music. Please don't listen to music with lyrics. If you're needing to end a relationship, a romantic relationship with someone, don't go and listen to music that's going to make you so melancholy and romanticize the difficulty in the relationship, drawing you and sucking you back in and creating a greater need, and then you're eating the ice cream and the cookies. Choose to listen to something positive, and that is so important. And then memorize something that's uplifting for you to recall in those moments of temptation. It is essential. I do that for myself all the time. I've shared my the Proverbs verse, which I have structured my life around, that what you listen to and hear and feed your life with goes into the recesses and the nooks and the crannies of your life and uplifts you and builds you up right from there. And that is so essential. Another thing I do need to caution you about when you're going through changes, those people who have been your friends and even your family members often do not understand, especially if it's so radically different to what they believe or what they think is right. Another thing you also need to understand is that culture does not mean that what the traditions lived out from that culture are necessarily the right way to live. Even if your parents have lived that way and it's been kind of sort of okay, and your grandparents and your great-grandparents, it doesn't mean it is the correct manner of life. It wasn't for them, but then they didn't have the exposure to know it to be different. another area of concern is once you've stepped aside and you've taken time to grow and mature in your understanding of what life should be, to then be caught up with people who haven't had that experience can cause a lot of stress in communication. I'm using that word very politely. Breakups in relationships, severing of ties because of lack of understanding. And then in those same domains, people will become very territorial of the images they have had for so many years, and your position and your mindset and your thought exposes their lack, and they don't like it. You will experience a comeback. I'm cautioning you because it is real. I've experienced that in my life, and I know you will in yours. However, is the growth and the change worth it? You bet. I wouldn't change mine for anything under the sun. I've had years of ill health, years of lacking of mobility, where I've had the time to be so grateful for my foundation and how it has sustained me through those difficult seasons, and I'm grateful for it today. Sure, it's kept me separated from people, and that is a good thing for which I'm grateful. I am not dependent on them for an image. I'm not dependent on them for a voice. I'm not dependent on them for an anchoring of all that I believe to be true about life, and that is a vertical relationship with God, which overflows into the horizontal. As I've said in the past, personal change affects outer change. So many blessings to you on your endeavor to look for a new pattern, a new path of life. It is possible, it can be done, and you will be greatly, greatly blessed as you pursue it. So until tomorrow, take care and God bless, and we'll talk again. Bye-bye.